What's up, guys? Welcome back to Zilla MMA. I am your host, as always, the Zilla. I want to start this episode like I always do, and that's thanking you, the viewers. We're getting really good numbers on the videos, but please don't forget, like and subscribe. Leave some comments. Let me know what you thought about this last card. Really appreciate getting y'all's feedback. It means the world to me, so thank you, guys. Coming off a pretty good card for us. So if you watched my video coming into this, we did pretty well. We went 9-2 overall on the card, 2-1 on prize picks, 2-1 on straight bets. Just the only thing we really missed on was that parlay, which I had Costa and Song. Costa losing his fight, but overall a good night. Can't complain with how we did here, going 9-2 overall. But we'll go ahead and get into this breakdown, just discuss what we saw on the card tonight. First fight, just finished watching it. Decided I'd try and get this video out as quick as I can tonight. I know a lot of people want the recaps right afterwards, so that's what I'm going to start trying to do a little bit more of. Can't do it for every card, but tonight was watching it right up to the end. Decided I'd go ahead and get this out for you. Yeah, Song Yadong just looked as dominant everywhere as we thought he would. Chris Gutierrez just honestly didn't have that much for him. To Gutierrez's credit, avoided the big shots of Song, had pretty good movement through most of the fight, but Song Yadong just so much more versatile and was able to take it to the ground when he wanted to. Just had so many more options of how to fight this fight, while Chris Gutierrez very reliant on those leg kicks. Doesn't have a ton else in his arsenal that's going to win against a guy just as versatile as Song Yadong was. He was pretty dominant. I say dominant. He clearly won every round. It's not like he was beating up on Chris Gutierrez, but yeah, that's the result here. Win for Song Yadong. Just a clogged up division, so I really don't know where he goes from here. Yeah, there's just a lot less room for growth on this one as there is in the next fight we're going to discuss, and that's why that one was in my title of this video. And that's Khalil Rountree getting the KO against Anthony Smith. And I got to say, I think Khalil Rountree, at least as far as not what I was expecting, it was the most impressive fighter for me tonight. Just he looked so fresh, so long in this fight, just landing the powerful shots, maintained his speed, was landing good counters on Anthony Smith, walled him a few times before ultimately finishing him in that third round. And what a shot he finished him with. I mean, Anthony Smith just went full baby deer mode, fell down into the ground, and then has Khalil Rountree just walking around the octagon with his fist up, waiting for the ref to stop it. Just an amazing finish from him. And honestly, outside of those top tier guys, those guys who have wrestling in their arsenal, the Jamal Hills, guys with very elite strikings like Alex Pereira, and guys who are very versatile like Yuri Prochaska, maybe even Jan Blachowicz. Those are the type of guys I think could give Khalil problems, but I think there's still a few spots left where Khalil could move up in this weight class. I think he is a different fighter than he previously was. I think he just looks so fresh and like such a well-polished striking fighter late into this fight, and it's really not something I expected. I expected Anthony Smith to come in here and really give him a lot of problems, and it just didn't seem that way to me. And so I feel very good about Khalil Rountree. I think he's going to do some great things going forward. Moving into our next fight, we have Nasrat Hakparas versus Jamie Mullarkey, and this is one I very spot on in my opinion on this one. Exactly why I said I couldn't trust Mullarkey's durability. Hakparas used that power and speed to get the finish in the first. It's just what I'd been seeing in my head all week. I manifested that this was going to happen in the octagon, that Mullarkey was going to get finished yet again. The durability is just not there with him to a point where I'm willing to trust him and put my money behind him. And so we get the win there with Hakparas. Good win for him in this fight. Next one that we were concerned about just with him taking it on short notice, coming off such a recent fight. Didn't take that much damage against Makayev, but still coming in here and getting this win, just awesome to see from him. You know, he was fully ready to fight. Came in here, uh, gets it to the ground, takes over, locks up that head and arm, and gets the sub early, which is really what we could have hoped for. I mean, we didn't have to have him test that durability and see or test that gas tank and see if those things were affected by taking this on short notice. It didn't have to get there. Tim Elliott gets this done early for us, and that's one of our dog picks that we had out there and cashed on. So love to see that. Andre Muniz versus the Iron Turtle. I tried to tell you. I said this was my least confident pick, but this is what we're going with. I'm a fan of the Iron Turtle, but this is just what my concern was all week. Muniz didn't do a ton of damage, but that sloppy form of Park when once he gets taken down, where he just tries to stand up, where he literally turtles up on the ground and can't get a lot of action done from there. It makes it difficult when you get in those positions with someone who is very talented in the ground game and jiu-jitsu. It makes it very difficult for you to win in those situations. So while Park probably did more damage in this fight, just Muniz had so much control time here that he was able to get the split decision. I think it's probably the right decision. I don't think either of these guys did a ton in this fight, but Muniz did control where the fight was taking place, and he was dictating that. It's not like Park did a disproportionate amount of damage on him. So yeah, that's one where we were on Muniz, and he got the win. And unfortunately, it's not the way I necessarily wanted it to go, but this is what I had seen in the tape I saw, and so that's a win for Andre Muniz. Next, we've got Kevin Jusay versus Kenan Song. Another one. This one, I think, my most accurate breakdown of the card. We didn't get to see the ground game of Jusay that we had seen before, but just using those jabs and kicks to stay at a distance. That's what I was looking for. That's what I wanted to see out of him, and he did that very effectively. What we were afraid of was Song getting into the pocket and closing the distance and landing some big shots. And he did have his moments in this fight, but Jusay actually showed that he can hold his own in the clinch, landing some big shots of his own tonight, and put on a pretty good performance. I'm very happy with what I saw from him. Glad we had some money behind him. That's a win for Kevin Jusay, and real fun fight to watch. Just looking very good and going the way that we thought it was going to go. So, yeah, good one for us there. Hyun-Sun Park versus Shannon Ross. A little different than we thought. Still ultimately getting the finish here. We had anticipated he'd get the knockout. Ross just having a bad reputation with his chin lately, but going to the body to get it done. Lands the big shot to the liver and forces him to crumble. Ross just obviously took a direct shot to the liver. Just the way he went down, very, very obvious there. And unfortunate for him, he's probably getting close, if not at the end of his time with the UFC, just the way things are trending. But a good win here for Hyun-Sung Park. Glad to see it for him. This is this is obviously the low point of the evening for us. One where if you watch my my video coming into this, I had met Melt Costa last week in Austin. Great guy. Very sad to see him take this loss. It's really unfortunate. I mean, props to Steve Garcia. Don't want to take anything away from him. Just the first round looking so good for us. Costa surprisingly going straight into that grappling and controls Garcia's back most of the round. Works to get hooks in, just kind of picking him up and making some tosses. And we think things are going well. And then the second round, Garcia, they had said it on the broadcast going into that round that Garcia just looked fresh and he was able to land one of those big shots that we were afraid of and ultimately hurt Costa, got to the ground, used some ground and pound, and just absolutely obliterated Costa. Costa didn't know where he was grabbing onto the ref's leg, trying to land a takedown. It's yeah, very unfortunate scene for him, but good for Steve Garcia. This is definitely the low point for me for the evening, but we move on. One we got right here with Luana Santos. Definitely not the most exciting fight in the world, but able to get it done with control time. Uh, just did a great job controlling where this fight took place, controlling Edgar for most of the fight. Definitely someone, though, I plan on staying away from in the future just due to the fact that she gassed really, really hard. That third round when Herb Dean was breaking them up when they're grappling up against the cage, Santos looked like she didn't even want to fight anymore. She was just completely out of it. And so that's a scary thing to see. Glad she was able to get the win for us, but definitely someone I'm going to be hesitant on backing in the future. And then we have Tyra here. Definitely got the answers we were looking for from him. Had the great grappling that we were expecting, obviously, but definitely showed off he can strike as well. I mean, he definitely has that in his arsenal as well. Dominating through the first round with his grappling, and then lands that huge shot in the second that led to ground and pound, got him the victory. All the potential in the world, definitely deserving of all the hype that he's gotten up to this point. So very good for Tyra. Just put on a showcase for us here, and definitely has a big future in the UFC. And then this first fight, which we'd already talked about on the breakdown show, that this just wasn't one we were super excited for. Got burned last week on a woman's fight being the first fight of the card. Got a split decision on that one. Didn't go our way. This week it does go our way. First round and a half, ugly because it was pretty much all on the feet. Alencar really couldn't do anything, but once it got to the ground, completely flipped. Guess she did enough in the second to pull it out for her. Just not a ton to say about this. Pretty low level. Not very confident in either of these women going forward, but a win is a win is a win. We got Alencar here. So yeah, very, very happy to see that. But that's going to do it for this card. Like I said, please go down in the comments. Let me know what you thought of the card. Let me know what you're looking forward to going forward. This is the last fight night, I believe, of the year. We've got the pay-per-view coming up next. And so I will work on getting that breakdown out to you as soon as possible. Going to try and make that an earlier in the week video. Don't want to have that be a Thursday or Friday release like this last one was. I don't like getting them out that late for you. Give you guys time to get the better lines before they get juiced up by the bettors who are sharp on these fights. But overall, great card for us, guys. As always, really appreciate you watching. Please, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Get notifications so you don't miss these videos. But until next time, guys, see ya.